What's going on, everyone? IVG here for my CPA Week 4 Team Builder against MegaCharXY. Um, this is sort of weird because I had I'm also going to into a week where I battle a Tapu Koko, and it's mainly different teams because of course this one has a Hawlucha as you could see, and the other one has Hitmonlee. But anyways, let's just get that John out of the business. But anyways, let's just get into his team right here. Looking at his team is very, how do I say, hyper offense. I guess that's the best way to say it. I was going to say very offensively, but I could just say hyper offensive. But he does have defensive Pokemon within Amoonguss and Seismitoad, possibility with Shaman, and with Savali Ghost. But that's all he has, really. Looking at his team, just going one by one, he has, with Tapu Koko, he gives him a Pokemon to build around. With that high speed, having the possibility to run many different sets like Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, any sort of Z move, which he has. I'm getting this mixed up with my other opponent who had Tapu Koko. This is the league where it's only one Z Crystal, which he has Grassy Z, which I should have reminded myself that's the only Z Crystal he had at availability. But that's beside the point. He has good coverage options within Tapu Koko. High special attack, high physical attack, but it's usually run as a special attacker even though it has a higher physical attack stat. Next up he has Hawlucha, which is a very possible sweeping Pokemon with the Unburden ability, with the high speed stat, and pairing it up with like Electric Seed with Electric Terrain, making Acrobatics a whole lot stronger once it's been used, and having like Sword Stance and having like High Jump Kick to back it up with Stab, and just carrying something else with it just makes Hawlucha a very threatening Pokemon to my team. If I don't have anything to beat it, which I definitely do, which I'll explain later, but that's beside the point. Next up, he has Amoonguss, which is a very bulky Pokemon. Definitely pairs well with the Electric Terrain core he has with Tapu Koko and Hawlucha. Though its stat does not provide well, its HP stat just makes both of stats seem like a whole lot tougher to prep against. It does have the Regenerate ability, which allows him to switch out and recover health, a third of his health, whenever he comes back into battle. He also has Seismitoad, which gives him a Water immunity with Water Absorb, Electric immunity with its natural ground typing. Gives him this. This is what I expected him to be a defensive set if he decides to bring it. Surprisingly, it has a lot of coverage moves if he decides to have something with this set. He also has MegaCharXY, which is his offensive Mega that he has in his team. 105 speed, 140 attack, which does a whole lot if I do not have anything to prep against. Has a good boost to back it up if he decides to bring this. Also has Darmanitan, which is also a scary offensive threat that he has in his team. Like I said, his team is very hyper offensive, so I'm expecting a lot of these Pokemon to, or some of these offensive threats that he does have to not come, but only expecting like 4 out of the 9 that he has on his team. Does have Darmanitan, sort of like a one-trick thing that it has, unless you're like Kale and somehow decide to run many different sets with Darmanitan that are unimaginable. Shout out to Kale, never loses. He also has Hoopa, which is a Pokemon that should be easily dealt with. Has real high special attack, but with low speed, sort of hinders it. I said that really weird. Has really good coverage moves in its disposal. Has the possibility of running Specs or Scarf, or have that Z move, which is just Grassy Z, which powers up the energy ball that it does have. He has Shaman, which has base 100 stats across the board, making that it could do whatever it wants to. But I do expect this thing to have a Grassy Z Seed Flare as disposal, just because I feel like that's what he had the Z Crystal for. He had a chance to have Electrium Z, but he got that stolen from a person because we all drafted Z Crystal within this league, and he ended up getting sniped from. Sorry about that. I paused for a little second just so I can do something. But getting back into it, what I expected the Shaman to be, he had Grassy. expecting him to have Grassy MD with like Seed Flares so it could boost out without having that chance to miss. Yes, he does miss out on that special defense drop, but it's more about power than having to worry about a status change than his moves. Next up, he has Tyrantrum, which has the potential of being Scarf and a very threatening Pokemon for what, even though it's low tier, having the Rocket ability, making it so it can't take recoil from moves like its powerful Head Smash, making it a stab move that if he hits, he doesn't take recoil and does a lot of damage, which is very threatening. And also has like Outrage, Elemental Fangs for coverage, and many other moves like that. He also has Frost Blast, which gives him a Pokemon that could set up hazards with like spikes, or be a utility mon with like Taunt, Thunder Wave, Toxic, and moves like that just at its disposal. Next up we have Silvally Ghost. He ends up picking up Silvally Ghost as a trade for something else. I completely forgot. I think it was like his Zeb Striker that he had at the beginning. So he ended up trading it for that. Just probably has the same capabilities as my Silvally Poison. Could be defensive with the Parting Shot. And have moves like Defog to remove hazards. And then 2 moves to back it up. Or it could just be offensive and have the moves that it does have. I was struggling to find out what I was trying to say right here. And last but not least, he does have a Toxicroak, which does pose as a threat, but could be easily dealt with what I have on my team. Could both be physical or special, despite of what its stats show. Excuse me. Also has Poison Touch, which gives him a 30% chance to poison with whatever move, and with moves like Poison Jab that does do also 30% chance to poison. I feel like it stacks to where it has a 60% chance to poison. I don't know if that works or not, but that would be cool if it did. Anyways, that's his team. What I explained right here and what I felt like he would have. I shouldn't even say what I thought he would have. What I felt like he had, and I even wrote this down just so I have something to team build against. Well, I really didn't even team build against a specific monster. I just prep for whatever he has, but I know what I'm expecting him to bring. I expect him to bring Tapu Koko and Hawlucha just so he has that Electric Terrain Core. I expect him to have Seismitoad as a sort of a electric immunity check to whatever electric type moves I have on my team. Just so it negates that. I was expecting to bring Darmanitan as sort of the offensive Pokemon. Just also phase in and out like how Tapu Koko can with Volt Switch. Darmanitan can do the same with U-Turn. I expect the Shaman to come as a Z, Grassium Z with a Seed Flare, and then having some coverage moves to back it up. And I also expect the Tyrantrum to come to this battle, probably with like a bend set just so it's able to break through, live at least like one hit, and then probably take down one of my Pokemon from my team. But that's what I expect from him. Now to get on to my team, here I have making his debut because he couldn't make his debut in week 3. We have Grenade the Kyurem Black, which just explodes into my opponent's team with the moveset I have. Even though it's sort of like basic and it could be better if I had ICMZ, I wanted to do this. Since I didn't have ICMZ to boost the power of Free Shock, I ended up carrying Power Herb so it's able to make a 1-turn move. It won't have the same power as what it has with ICMZ, but it's still able to do a lot of damage because of the stab and because of the high physical attack and max attack that it does have. Also carrying Dragon Claw just as another stab move to break it with. And I do have Fusion Bolt just to have that boost in Electric Terrain, and also has a move for Hawlucha. Also hits Sharpedo as well, if it managed to carry some bulk just to live a Free Shock or the Dragon Claw that it does have. And I have Home Claws just so if I have that chance to set up and I do not want to miss Free Shock and do more damage, I'm able to do that. The 176 and speed allows me to outspeed the Toxicroak because it reaches 295 with max speed Jolly or Timid nature with the base 85 speed. So if I go one less, I would be speed tying it. Yeah, because it doesn't have a 296, it has a 295, but not a 296. So that's what it is. Next up, we have. Can I click this? Next up, we have Natalie running a different set than usual. I'm running a Choice Max Sylveon set, which just cuts through his team. I didn't mess with this investments or EV investment because I feel like this set just cuts through his team no matter what. Running Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Psyshock, and Hidden Power Grass. With this set, the moves will either do neutral damage or will do super effective, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Hyper Voice, like I said, is just stat move, boosted with Pixelate, doing a whole lot more damage than it does normal. Shadow Ball is a coverage move for Hoopa, also hits Frost Blast. Psyshock hits Halucha if I do not lock myself in Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice. Also hits the Toxicroak very effectively, and I do have Hidden Power Grass for that Seismitoad that I didn't have on his team. If he decides to bring like an Assault Vest set, which actually could be very expected from his team, and have like a physical defensive Amoonguss on his team. Next up, I do have Treasure, the Cofagrigus. I think this is the first time I bring it, cause let me make sure I didn't bring it ahead of time. Yes, I was going to bring it against Wire, but we did not battle, and his replacement did not battle me, so I'm going to getting the forfeit win on that, if you did not see from the quick update. So also making his debut, unexpectedly, we have Cofagrigus, or Treasure the Cofagrigus, running a physical defensive Trick Room set with Shadow Ball, Psychic, Trick Room, and Will-O-Wisp. Shadow Ball is a stat move that I wanted. Psychic hits the Halucha, also hits the Toxicroak very effectively. Trick Room allows me to sweep with slow Pokemon so that Cofagrigus is able to move first. The Sylveon, I could have even run no investments in speed, but I'm still going against it just because I still want to have something to outspeed the Amoonguss. He decides not to have them. If he puts investments in speed and somehow manages to outspeed Sylveon, then that's going to be bad on my end. And I do carry Will-O-Wisp for any sort of physical attacking Pokemon that he has on his team, except for the Darman 10, which I will have to hope that I have something for it within the battle. But the physical investments allow me to take, if I wrote this down correctly, allows me to get 3-hit KO'd by a Scarf Adamant Tyrantrum's Head Smash. Meaning that the most damage that he could do with the Head Smash, if it's Scarf and Adamant, is a 49 point something %, meaning that I could take another Head Smash and still have enough turn to live and still live. Next up, I had 24K Magic the Incineroar running Assault Vest Intimidate set as usual, because I cannot find an Incineroar set that just works other than this set. This set is too broken for League play. I'm just being completely honest right here. This set is just broken. Flare Blitz, knock off Earthquake and U-Turn. Flare Blitz and knock off all my stab moves. Knock off Health Smears, removing any sort of items that he has in the team. Earthquake hits the Tapu Koko, also hits the Tyrantrum for super effective damage, and also hits the Toxicroak. And U-Turn just allows me to switch in and out of the battle to gain a little bit more momentum if I have that standpoint within the battle. Max HP and 152 special defense, not having a Spadef boosting nature, allows me to take I get 3 hit KO'd by Specs Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko in electric terrain. So technically I do take 2 Specs Thunderbolts from Tapu Koko in electric terrain just by that. And then I just put the rest of the investments in attack with the Adamant nature just so I have some sort of offensive pressure within Incineroar. Next up, also making a debut and sort of a bad nickname. It was just so I could fit a nickname since my theme name was Bruno Mars songs. I decided to name thing Gorilla. So we have Gorilla the Passimian when really it's a Simian. and not a gorilla, so it's whatever. I'm running a choice scarf set. I'm not allowed to run Define because it's a hidden ability that is not released on Pessimian, fun fact. But with the receiver ability, I think it only works in double battles, but that's beside the point. Um, Running close combat, I want to say cloise, like cloister. Close combat, Earthquake, knock off an air release. Close combat gives me a stab moves. Earthquake hits Tapu Koko and the Tyrantrum, and the Toxic knockoff just helps me remove any sort of items. Also hits the Hoopa very hard. Also gives me a move to hit the Frostlass. And I also have Air Release just so I can hit Hawlucha a little bit hard. I do only 3-hit KO it with just max attack, but that's beside the point. I did want to have something to hit Hawlucha hard, even though it has like no potential investments in bulk, whether it be HP or defense. It's still only 3-hit KOs with Aerial Ace. So with the speed investment, Jolly Nature, and the Scarf, I'm able to outspeed. Hold on, I wrote this down. I don't think it was to outspeed Tapu Koko. Wait, yes it is. It's supposed to outspeed. No, what this does is outspeed Tyrantrum, because Pessimian naturally outspeeds Tyrantrum, but I'm prepping for a Scarf Tyrantrum, so I ran that much investments to where I outspeed a Tyrantrum naturally, where it runs max speed Jolly, and if it's Scarf, I do have the Scarf just so I outspeed it, and it does also outspeed Tapu Koko. It's just I need to run a little bit more speed investments so I'm able to outspeed the Tyrantrum. And I just put the rest in HP just so I have some bulk within Pessimian, which it does have like a high HP stat now that I think about it. And then finally, I do have Versace on the floor, the Silvally Poison, with only I could run Poison MZ and Arcade System, since that's all I could run. I'm running multi-attack, Thunderbolt, Defog, and Parting Shot. Multi-attack does that max 80% to Tapu Koko is what I do believe. And with Thunderbolt giving me a coverage move to hit the Hawlucha, just so I don't have like multi-attack just as the only attacking move I have. I'm also running Defog just to get rid of any sort of hazard that he does set up with like a potential Stealth Rock on Tyrantrum or Seismitoad. And I do have Parting Shot just so I can weaken the attack and special attack from any sort of Pokemon that he has on the field, with Silvally Poison going up against it. With the HP investment and the physical, the defense investments, I believe I take a, what is it? I take a already used Electric Seed, Hawlucha, with Acrobatics at +2. I even take that and it would be like 80% at max. I feel like that's what the investment is for it. And also it better takes on Tyrantrum, and the speed is to outspeed Tyrantrum, if you did not know about that. I was close to running a Bold Nature, but it does also hinder the multi-attacks damage output, so I put a Lax Nature, though I will be taking a lot more damage from the Specs Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko, but that's beside the point. I do live it. It's just bad to take a whole lot more damage than I need to be taking. But anyways, that is the team. I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see y'all in the post-commentary match. Goodbye.